Okay, let's be real. Have you ever felt that New Year excitement, set these massive goals, and then poof, by February they're just a distant memory? Yeah, you're not alone. That's pretty much all of us. But what if the problem isn't you? What if it's the system you're using? Or the lack of one? Well, today we're going to fix that. We are swapping out wishful thinking for a proven blueprint that's actually engineered for success.
So let's just start with a cold, hard truth, courtesy of creator Gabe Bolt. Get this, only about 8% of people actually stick to their New Year's resolutions. 8. When you let that sink in, it's kind of crazy, right? So that begs the million-dollar question. What on earth are the other 92% of us doing wrong? What's the big mistake that so many of us are making year after year? Well, the answer is actually a lot simpler than you might think. And this right here gets to the heart of it. The old way? That's about picking some random goals and just hoping for the best. It's crossing your fingers. But the new way, the way we're going to break down today, is all about using proven systems to drive real, tangible action. It's about building your success, not just wishing for it. So here's our game plan. It's a 4-part roadmap to get this done. First, we're going to completely reset your mindset. Then, we'll design a rock-solid blueprint for action. After that, we'll tackle how to master your environment. And finally, we're going to get brutally honest about the true costs of success. So let's dive in. Everything, and I mean everything, starts right here with how you fundamentally think about your goals. We've got to ditch this idea that self-improvement is just some temporary thing you do for a few months. Amy Wang just nails it with this quote. You know those trendy winter arcs or lock-in seasons you see online? She argues that whole concept is flawed because it treats change like a short-term sprint. But here's the thing. Truly successful people don't just go hard from September to December. They get that leveling up is a continuous, year-round lifestyle. So how do we start? Well, Gabe Bolt has this great technique called dreamlining, and the shift is so simple but so powerful. Stop asking what you want to have, like I want $1,000,000, and start asking what would genuinely excite you. Maybe it's not the cash itself, but the freedom to go live in Bali for 3 months. That feeling, that excitement, that's your real fuel. And that excitement, that's how you find your why. Your motivation has to be powerful. It can be a positive thing, a dream that pulls you forward, like traveling the world. Or, as Gabe points out, it can be a negative thing that pushes you from behind, that deep, intense fear of waking up 6 months from now and realizing you're in the exact same spot. Either way, you need a powerful reason to get moving. I love this metaphor from Amy Wang because it forces you to be honest. Think about those goals you didn't hit last year. Did you actually invest in them? Did you put in the time, the money, the focus? If the answer is no, here's the good news. You didn't fail. You just haven't made the investment yet. Okay, so once that mindset is locked in, we can move on to the practical stuff, designing your actual blueprint. This is where we take those huge, exciting dreams and reverse engineer them into simple, daily tasks you can actually do. Gabe Bolt lays out this super clear 4-step process. You start with 1 to 3 massive, crazy goals for the year. Then you chop that down into a 90-day target. From there, you figure out your single most important priority for the week. And bam, that weekly priority tells you exactly what your main task is for each day. And let's make this real with Gabe's own example. His yearly goal was huge, hit 1 million YouTube subscribers. So he did the math. To get there, he needed about 71,000 new subscribers every 90 days. And just like that, his weekly priority became crystal clear. Post 2 videos. See how that works? A massive goal just got boiled down into a simple, repeatable action. But look, a plan on paper is pretty useless if you don't commit. And this tip from Amy Wang is absolutely critical. You have to physically block out time for these actions in your calendar. I mean it. Treat them like a dentist appointment or a meeting with your boss. They become non-negotiable parts of your day. And to really make sure you stick with it, you gotta build in some accountability. Tell a friend exactly what you're doing so there's some external pressure. Put some money on the line. Hire that personal trainer. Buy that online course. When your wallet's invested, you show up. And finally, take time every week to reflect. What's working, what's not, then you adjust and get better. Okay, so you have the mindset, you have the plan. But both of those things can be completely sabotaged by your environment. This next part is all about a simple truth. What you let in determines what you can put out. Both Gabe and Amy are super clear about this. You have to be absolutely ruthless about what you consume. That means cutting out that low-value, short-form, brain-rot content that just fries your attention span. It means unfollowing social media accounts that don't inspire you, and yeah, maybe even spending less time with people who don't support your ambitions.
Now, the flip side of cutting out the bad stuff is flooding your life with the good stuff. Like Gabe says, when you constantly consume content from people who are already on the journey you want to be on, it starts to normalize their success. You stop seeing it as some impossible thing and you start to think, wait a minute, why can't I do that?
And check out this fantastic mental flip from Amy Wang. It is so easy to complain about how distracting the world is today, but you can turn that completely on its head. If everyone else is glued to their phones and easily distracted, that creates a massive opportunity for anyone who can actually focus. Their distraction becomes your competitive advantage.
This brings us to our final, and maybe the most important piece of the puzzle. We've built the plan, but now we have to talk about the payment. Because success isn't free. It always has a cost. Gabe Bolt is so direct about this, and it's something we all need to hear. You want six-pack abs? The cost is a clean diet and consistent exercise. You want a thriving business? The cost is thousands of hours of hard work when nobody's watching. You have to ask yourself honestly if you're willing to pay that price. And if you're not, that's fine, but then you have to let go of the complaint. And I love how Amy Wang reframes what we call failure. When her YouTube channel wasn't growing, she didn't see it as a sign that she was a failure. No, she realized she just hadn't paid her dues yet. It's not an endpoint. It's just an outstanding balance on the price of success. So when you strip away all the hype, what is success? It's not magic. It's not luck. It's really just a formula. And this is it. Taking small, actionable steps toward a very specific goal and then doing it again and again consistently over a long period of time. That is the entire game.
So now you have it. You have the entire blueprint. You know how to reset your mind, how to build a real plan, and how to manage your environment. The only question left is the one only you can answer. Are you willing to pay the price?